As you can see, we're going to be covering a new mice from Logitech, the G502 update. We have the G502x, the G502x Lightspeed, and then the G502x Plus. As you can see, no, I have not opened any of these right here. And why haven't I? This is not a mouse that I can game with, or I primarily use. I used the G502 when I first got into PC gaming. I was playing a lot of Fortnite using the buttons, but again, it's not a mouse I use. You all know me, I'm a Death Adder type fan. I like a big plump mouse. But this is a very exciting release. Talking about, I mean, it hasn't been refreshed in a long time, so is it worth that upgrade? I mean, I honestly don't own my original G502, so I have nothing to really compare it to, but I do have some other comparisons I want to chime in about, talking about, which I have recently covered or been testing in the background. So again, I don't know if we want to go about this as like of first impressions. You all know how I feel about first impression videos. They mean squat. What I want this to be is more like, yo, let's just hang out, pop these open, see what we think about them, and just kind of talk about them. You know what I mean? As far as specs, the links are down in the description and you can see them there. But as far as core specs, I mean, you can see them right on the box, zoom in, catch the dimensions. And yes, the dimensions across all of these are the exact same. And as you see, they're all using the Hero 25 sensor, and they have these light force switches, which is Logitech kind of getting into the optical game, but they're stating they still feel mechanical, kind of like what we've been seeing with Razer. But as far as core specs, very similar across them. The difference, again, we have wired, we have your base model, if we call it that, your wireless one, and then over here with the Plus, it's going to have RGB. So let's go on and pop these open and take a look what we think. And let's go on and start with the 502X. This is the wired version here. And I can just tell you, as far as the box, this is also going to be the lightest one, obviously, with it not being RGB. Hopefully I don't cut myself here. What is this little? We get this little tiny baggie here. What is this? Oh, cool. So you can change out your, yo, hold up. Oh, yo, that's really nice. If you see this little button right here, it's got a rubber texture on it. Yo, I like that a lot. That's really, really nice. Now the edges of it are kind of sharp. We'll have to see whenever we get it on the mouse. What else is in here? Okay, that's all that's in there. Let's go and pop this out. So our cable, all right, so you got basic rubber cable. That's already a bummer out there. Here is that. Okay, now inside, it's telling you how you can change out that front button. Kind of like what we saw on that Glorious. They did that on a Glorious mouse. So let's get that out of the way. Here's the mouse. Yo, that's super cool up front. I'm not sure if you can tell, but it's like this translucent right up there. That scroll wheel's loud. Then you got the free scrolling right there. Really nice that they put it on the budget line as well. Put it in hand. It's been so long since I used the 502. I don't know, it feels plumper for some reason. Nah, I don't know. What I can tell you, if you look at it like this, yo, check that out. So you got 1 and 2 up there. Look at the side buttons. Remember before they used to float over with the side buttons? Look at how they shoot up right now. Yo, I really like that. Because you're just playing, bam, and they're right there. Really, really like that. Now talking about this thumb button. See, magnetized in, exactly like Glorious did, guys. Which way does this go? Okay, so it goes in like that. Okay, I feel like I gotta reach. I feel like I'm reaching with this up here now. Yeah, let me make sure I don't got that on backwards, guys. Okay, I had it on completely backwards. What it does is eliminate. Okay, so it eliminates that button right there and make it one total grip. Okay, I had that completely wrong. Again, I'm popping these open with you guys. Side buttons. Yo, I love the side buttons. They really stick out. You can truly feel them. And this whole side over here is this textured rubber bit. Same on this side. Now let's go and throw it on the scale right here. Again, our wire is attached, obviously. We're getting 83.1 grams. And it honestly feels great in the hand. It just feels very well balanced. I mean, the cable, like, I don't even need to undo it. It's a rubber cable. The cable is gonna stink. Hopefully Lethal Gaming Gear releases one of their cables for this, and this will be, it'll be absolutely fantastic because it just feels great in the hand. Again, I don't have my original 502, but it's just sitting really nice, and it just feels so good with those grips. So now let's go in and get to the 502X. This is the Lightspeed, the non-RGB one. Slicing this open right here, and you can see all this stuff on the bottom, on the back, the 502 sensor, the light force with the optical switches and all. Come on, let's go on a slide. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so it's got the delete button as well, the button delete right up there. Putting this in the hand. So we got all that plastic on the bottom here. As I'm still struggling with the plastic. There we go. Yo, I can already tell, I can already feel the weight compared to the wired one. Obviously, right? Being wireless. All right, so nothing's in there. Same feet on the bottom, buttons in the same place. You got the grips on the side, right? Just like the other one. I think I like that white color better. But other than that, I mean, you got the free scrolling wheel. You can't really tell the transparent up top on this plastic bit because, again, it being straight black. USB-C charging now. That's an update they did. This is bringing back memories of the 502. Feels very, very similar. Again, button delete. We got our dongle. What else is in here? Dongle, extender, and then our wire. Again, USB-C charging. Taking a look at the 502x Lightspeed, the wireless one here. Again, dongle's out. We're getting 99.5 grams. Let me just see. If we pop this button off, does that make any kind of difference? 98.9. So honestly, looking at the 502x right here, the Lightspeed, the wireless one. Again, this is the one without RGB. I'm getting some serious flashbacks of the old 502. Just far as weight and feel, I really like the wire one. It felt fresh. It just a lightweight, felt really nice. This is really bringing me back to the original 502 here. So now let's go and take a look at the 502x Plus, and I really think the only difference here is the RGB on this one. Let's go and pop it out and see if it feels any different, if that weight is incredibly noticeable. By the way, here's a good picture of their new switches. Again, optical, but they're making them feel like mechanical here. So popping it out, oh wow, man, that's crazy. I feel the weight difference already. Here we go, dealing with the plastic again, guys. My bad. But I can already feel the weight difference of this compared to the one we just used. It's not dramatically heavier, but you know what? Let's just get straight to it. Let's go on and check the weight right here. Popping it on, we are going to get 103.9. So not much, but again, in the hand, I feel it. It's not a brick. It's not, of course, a lot of us looking at 100 grams these days is like, yo, what's going on? But I do feel the weight. Make sure nothing's in there. No? Okay. So I feel the weight, and the only difference, again, let's see if there's any juice in this, is, well, you got the RGB, and you see it kind of scrolling out there. Oh, that's cool how it kind of faded. It started right up there, and then it scrolled out. Yo, that's pretty cool. I actually liked it. That's a cool effect. So honestly, when you look at the 502 Plus compared to the 502x Lightspeed, it's almost like, well, they're giving you the option. Do you want RGB or not? Which I really like, because a lot of times I state, why pay 20 extra bucks or whatever it is for RGB? Your hand's over it, so you're really not going to see it, you know what I mean? I really like that. A lot of us might be like, yo, why come out with the Plus and then a Lightspeed without RGB? Who cares, I really like that, and I stated that in many of my videos. If we don't want to pay for it, don't make us. And it's great that they give us the option here. So now that we popped open the new G502s, took a look at them, saw what's different, it's not so much the upgrade. I think this day and age, the 502 has been cloned so much, right? There's so many copies of it. We saw the differences right here. We'll talk about that here in a second. But what I want to talk about is it worth going with the 502 these days? Number one, I think the biggest competitor is the Basilisk from Razer. This is new one, the V3 Pro. I didn't cover this. I tested it for quite a while, but I didn't cover it because it honestly didn't excite me. All right, let me just put it straight out there. It didn't excite me. What did excite me is this new charging stand from them where you can just, bam, set it on there. It magnetizes, no clips or nothing goofy on the bottom. You get this little extra dongle deal down at dongle or puck, whatever, on the bottom, and it does that QI charging, which you don't even need this. It does by any QI charging. That's what's cool. Not necessarily the mouse, because there's nothing really fresh here. I love the QI charging bit down there, or even this charging station. That's what makes this cool and fresh. As far as in the hand, I mean, come on, guys. We know they're pretty much the exact same. The 502, you got your buttons right up there. That's the number one competitor. As far as price difference, this guy is packing like $200 with that charge station right there, So it's a pricey one. But as far as one-to-one, do you want those top buttons? That's what you need to decide right there compared to the Basilisk over here. But the one I really think is going to separate apart, and one that I think a lot of people might overlook, is the Roccat Cone Pro. What is this? The XP Air, you know what I mean? I covered this mouse and it didn't get much traction. Not many people covered it, but this is something a little bit fresher, right? You got all the buttons on the side. It's fairly lightweight for everything that is packed, and I love the ergonomics. It's definitely bigger than all these, but this is the one, if you're looking for a mouse like that with a lot of functionality to it and everything, this one really comes to mind, and this is something I really think a lot of people should try. That's definitely under the radar right now. So the number one question I think a lot of you will probably be asking, which I would be as well if I was a G502 fan, is should you upgrade, or heck, maybe should you go back to the 502 if you haven't used it in a while? And number one, talking about the two that we just looked at right there about price, the Basilisk V3 Pro is $159, $200 with the dock station right there. And I want to chime in on one thing. I just looked on Amazon and there is a ton, or maybe it was Best Buy, a ton of bad reviews about the Basilisk V3 Pro with the dongle not working. I don't know. I used my dongle right into the station right there, or the charging dock, perfectly fine. I mean, I didn't have any issues, so I don't know. I can't speak on that. I can just tell you mine connected flawlessly. But as far as price, that's that. Now, looking over at the Rocat one, we're talking $170 with the charging dock. Okay, so all of these are pretty pricey, right? There's no denying it. But looking at the Logitechs, I got my phone out here because I can't remember all these prices, guys. So looking at the RGB, the Plus, we're looking at $160. And by the way, it comes in a white version, which I love the white. I really do. Coming over here to the non-RGB is $140. Look at that. I got it right. $20, right? So that's what I say. I love how they give you that option. Pay for RGB if you want it. Don't pay if you don't want it. Me personally, I wouldn't pay for it. You know what I mean? And then coming down to the wired one, you're looking at $80. So me personally, the way to go right here, if you went with any, would be the X. Just the original one without RGB. I think that sits in a good spot. This wire is no good, guys. Even though this one feels the best in the hand, that wire is garbage. The RGB, I think it's aesthetics, you know. Me personally, I would go this route. But more importantly, should you go with the new 502 if you have the old 502? You can tell the weight reduction in it, which is not massive. And that's kind of what I think a lot of us wanted to see. Is this mouse coming at maybe 80 grams? 85, something around that. I think that is what we would have really liked to see, like the wired version here, but in wireless. I think that's what we really would have liked to see here. You know, I think that would have been a really fun, and I'm not a weight junkie, right? I don't need every single one of my mice to be 60 or 50 grams. I'm not. You know what I mean? I like that 70 to 90 or 60 to 90 right there, you know what I mean? And it's not bad. Again, it's not a brick. It's not as heavy as it was. I like the upgrades. But I think the biggest thing we would have wanted was a little bit more weight reduction. Is it worth the upgrade? Should you upgrade? I can't sit here and tell you, yeah, you should, because again, I'm not a main 502 user. You're the only one that can decide, is this justifiable for an upgrade or for you to go back to the 502? Let me know down in the comments. I think this is a conversation piece. This is a very iconic mouse in the gaming space right here. You know, it's been for a long time. I want to hear from you guys. Do you think it's worth the upgrade? What else should have they done? Or, hey, did they do it just right here? I want to hear from you guys, the G502 fans. So anyways, thank you so much for stopping by for whatever you want to call this video right here. I hope I helped you out one way or another. Just being able to sit here, hang out, and talk about this release right here. I had fun. Again, we should have got our coffee, just sat here and chatted about it, you know what I mean? But again, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Hey, I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye now.